evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcats take on Lawrence County at home this weekend. The THS band is polishing up its performance, and Tullahoma welcomes the new base commander at AEDC. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Welcome back. Tullahoma High School Wildcats have won their last two games and are looking forward to this weekend's game with the Lawrence County Wildcats. News Leader's John Gray spoke to Coach Sisk about this weekend's matchup.
What we want to do, what we got to do right now, is we got to set the table. What I want you to do is set the table for us. We have Lawrence County coming in this coming week. Always a tough football game for the Tullahoma Wildcats, and we're always a tough football game for them. No matter what the records are, there's just something magic about that ball game. It's always a good ball game. It's always a tough ball game.
No doubt.
What we got to do to get where we need to go, Coach?
Hey, one, we've got to have a great week of practice. We got to get our guys, pumped up and ready to go. We're going to be going against a wing T, which that's a little different. Hard to simulate that from time to time because it's not something that is in our forte. We're not something we do offensively. So, simulating that's tough. It's being able to see the keys, not all the motion and the window dressing and all those things, John. So being able to see those keys offensively, what we've got to do is finish blocks, all right? And be more consistent. And I think we're getting there, right? And I think our kids are getting there. But, the more consistent we can be, the better off we'll be. Me and Coach Olive talked about it for years. I don't know what we've done here at Tullahoma, John, to upset the people in Lawrence County so much.
I don't know.
But it's always...
It's a battle.
It's always a tough football game. And Coach Marston and his staff, I've known Coach Marston my entire coaching career, so over 20 years. And Coach Marston is great at running that wing, and he'll have his kids fired up and ready to come to Tullahoma. And I'm just glad we don't have to go over there. It seems like for the past, I know for the past 3 times in the contest, we've gone over there because of the realignment. Right. But man, it's finally nice to not have to go to Lawrenceburg one time.
Well, particularly as you go to Greenbrier.
Yes.
Well, no, even before that, where'd we go?
What, Montgomery Central?
Montgomery Central.
Yeah, we just got back from Montgomery Central.
Then we go to Greenbrier. Now we got Lawrence County. If we were going there, I mean, that's 3 games in a row that are what, 2 hours at least?
Right now in our travel, all right, so we're in a 9-team region, all right, and the region stretches from Lawrence County all the way to Greenbrier. But I added it up a couple of weeks ago. We're almost 700 miles worth of travel this football season. All right, that's 700 miles. So that we travel.
Right.
So that's pretty unbelievable. And so I sure hope the people at TSSAA will look at that in the upcoming realignment, and maybe we can knock some of that travel off.
Yeah, well, and Creekwood beat Greenbrier.
Yes.
So that means that throws things. You've got Pearl Cone beat Marshall, so it's Pearl Cone, Marshall. Then you've got Creekwood and Greenbrier sitting there, and but let's see, who is it? Greenbrier's got to play Pearl and Marshall both yet. So it's going to, if we win out, we've got to win everything. If we win out, then we'll look at unless something just crazy happens, we'll look at being number 4,
Look at
possibly in the region.
being number 4, and like we've said before, we don't need help from anybody else. We just have to help ourselves right now. And the main thing, what I like to say that for, is that we control our own
Yeah,
destiny.
yeah.
We don't have to have help right now from Creekwood or Greenbrier or
No.
Lawrence County. Hey, our job is, it's no different than it was last week. All right? Hey, win. Hey, and next week we'll look at the next opponent. But right now, hey, we're going to do exactly what we're asking our kids to do. Hey, as far as, hey, read your key, and our key right now is Lawrence County, and that's what we've got to zone in, lock in on Lawrence County, and hey, after that ball game, we'll look at the next one.
Then after that, who do we have left? Glencliff,
It'll be Greenbrier, then Glencliff.
Greenbrier, then
So we'll be
So-
Lawrence County here at home,
right.
and then we get back on the bus,
Go back to Greenbrier.
and we go to Greenbrier, and that's a pretty good trip also. Then we'll come home for senior night with Glencliff. But
Who hadn't won a ball.
hey, tough goings over there at Glencliff. Hey, they got beat Thursday night. I think it was by Hillwood 50 to something, to 50 to 9, I think.
Right.
But just, hey, last season we went over there and we had most of our starters out probably in the second series, but tough situation for those guys at Glencliff because they don't get as many kids out and just that area right now struggling football-wise. So feel bad for those guys.
Well, and the thing about it is, if a kid says, I want to be in music, they all can leave there and go to Pearl Combs.
Exactly.
Nashville's got some crazy, Davidson County has some crazy stuff like that with their magnet schools, where you can set up a magnet school and you can set up a football program where anybody in Davidson County,
Oh, exactly.
can send their kids over there.
Exactly.
And so you get some kids at Glencliff, and these other, the people who could help your football team are going to play somewhere else.
No doubt, and they got the one-time transfer rule in there.
Right.
You've got one time you're able to go, so a different situation there definitely than it is here.
Yeah. So that's what we have coming ahead of us, folks, and that means Lawrence County this week, this coming Friday night, in our town, in our stadium, and it's a very important football game. Of course, all of them left are important, but this football game is a very important football game. Long-time rivalry. We've been playing them for years and years and years. Always been tough. We need you in the seats. We need fans in the stands. And there's a guy. Have you noticed the smell in our stadium?
I have.
There is a guy set up over there by the quarterback club that makes kettle popcorn. Mm-hmm. And it's got every kind of flavor in you. Somebody walks up the stands, you want to tackle them.
I'm telling you, last time we were at home, we were getting ready to do the Wildcat Walk.
Yeah.
Right. And so we kind of got stalled there because it was homecoming.
Yeah.
And so we're waiting, and Jackson Sheffield is standing behind me. And I hear him talk. He said, I don't know what that smell is. It's like a funnel cake or a caramel. He said, but whatever it is, they're going to have to stop. He said, because, hey, he said, I want to go over there and get some now. So I told him after the football game that was the popcorn guy.
Yeah.
So I imagine Jackson's mom and dad will make sure they get some popcorn.
There you go. Folks, it's Tullahoma Wildcat football. It's a beautiful time of year. Come be part of it. If you're not already, it's one of the mainstays in this town. It's one of the things we're proudest of. And, it's real easy. All you have to do is just buy a ticket. The band is outstanding. They've won everything in the world. We're winning games. Last year won the state championship. It don't get no better than that, folks. So we'll see you in the stands on Friday night.
And after these messages, we'll be right back.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming,
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Welcome back. A big part of Friday Night Lights in Tullahoma is the award-winning THS Band. We now go to their recent performance during homecoming. More news is coming up just in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. On Tuesday, Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen welcomed the new AEDC base commander, Colonel Randall Gordon.
So with a couple of hours left to Randall J. Gordon Day, I'm assuming that comes with a free ticket to Chick-fil-A. We have a limited amount of time with which to take advantage of this. Also, you're the first one to tell me I'm the 32nd, so I need to get some t-shirts made of number 32 coming through there. I just thought through that. I wanted to introduce my wife, Tiffany, while we're here. So we are very, very happy to be here. If you had met me a few weeks ago, you noticed I walked around with a cast on my right hand, and it's because I met so many people in Tullahoma and shook so many hands that it actually snapped part of my hand. And so I still have that brace. But I give you that to say that in about 18 or 19 different moves that my wife and I have had, in 24 years of service in the Air Force, we have never, right, and I mean this as deeply as I can say it, we have never just been a part of a community that was just so welcoming and so open, and it's just been wonderful. I was telling a couple of you guys when I met here, oh, sorry, please, go ahead. So I was telling a couple of you guys when I met that this is our first time coming to Tennessee. We've heard of Arnold for a lot of our career in the test business, but we've never been stationed here. And we've never been to Tennessee before, and we've fallen completely in love with it. We were talking about this just a few days ago of, wow, what a spectacular town, what a wonderful community. We love the state. I've hiked so many different waterfalls just in the time that I've been here. We got a chance to see the Lost Sea just yesterday and took a trip up to go see that. We went to Monteagle and ate in Al Capone's house and had a great time there as well. And the hits just keep coming, right? Skydived over at the airport, and we're going to get a chance to do some zip lining stuff, and the community really loves the place. And so, again, thank you, right, for just being such a welcoming and open community. I also have to congratulate this community for being named a Great American Defense Community. That is an exceptional honor. That doesn't happen for a lot of places across the country, and it just hammers just how much of the support that this community has for the base. My predecessor, General Garrity, I've known him for a number of years, and so when I found out I was getting this responsibility to come here and replace him, he told me over and over and over again of just how much he really enjoyed the community, the engagement that's been there with Arnold, and that's been 100% correct. So again, thank you one more time. So I want to leave you with a couple of things. One is, so I just got back from what we call the Air Force Association, which is a big gathering of the United States Air Force and now Space Force that we have in Washington, D.C. And as a part of that, we did what's called the Wing Commanders Conference, where we get a chance to sit with the Secretary of the Air Force and the Chief of Staff of the Air Force. And for 3 days, it's basically all of the senior leadership of the Air Force talking to somewhere on the order of about 300 different wing commanders that are there that represent the entire United States Air Force across the entire planet. And the Chief of Staff said something that I think is important for this community to hear. One is this notion that after 9/11, and especially with COVID, he made this analogy of the military bases to some extent have sort of become like castles with drawbridges and moats around it, and that essentially, especially after 9/11, we drew up the drawbridge at a lot of different Air Force bases around the country, and essentially the military base became closed off from the local community, and that's bad. right? And that's something that the Chief of Staff felt so strongly about that he made it a point to look at all of his wing commanders and to say, I'm looking at you to help lower that drawbridge back down again. If we expect to recruit and to be able to build the base in the communities that we need the support of our local leadership as well. And if our answer is, well, we're going to be standoffish and you can't come to the base and no one knows what happens on the base, and there's one community here and another community there, then we failed in that mission. So I took that as a personal challenge of how do we reinvigorate a lot of the ties between AEDC and the local community. And so just know, right, that's one of my big imperatives coming back. And to hear the Chief of Staff say that was just confirming of, okay, I think we're onto something here about how do we open up those ties again. So I'm here to tell you right now, please, please, please let me know what are the things that we can do together to be able to reinvigorate some of those ties, especially post-COVID. So that's the piece one. Piece two that I wanted to relay, and then I'll relinquish the microphone, was also the theme that we had at the Air Force Association, which was this notion that we are in a great power struggle around the world with various adversary nations, right? Be it Russia, you see that in the news every day in terms of what's happening in Ukraine, and that's a real shooting war. And then the notion of what's could potentially happen in the Pacific area of responsibility, whether that's North Korea or China, a number of different adversaries that happen there. There is a tremendous amount of investment coming to Arnold, specifically to develop technologies that will be necessary so that our nation can still defend freedom around the world. So there is absolutely, positively no fear, no sense that Arnold's going away anytime soon. If anything, we've had a number of visits from a number of different dignitaries that have come down from Washington, D.C. just to understand a little bit more of what Arnold actually does, because they appreciate that this is the only place in a lot of cases in the entire country where you can do this type of technology development, and it happens just a few miles that way. So Arnold is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. The work that we do requires so much support from the local community in terms of the airmen that come in here and the civilian leadership that works out there. And it matters from a national defense standpoint. So again, on behalf of the Chief of Staff, I just wanted to say thank you for being so strong of a tie with the community. Thank you for welcoming my wife and I here. And I look forward to this assignment like nobody's business. This has been such a great time, and we've only been here just a little under 3 months. And already we can tell that this is just going to be probably my favorite tour in 24 years of service so far. So thank you. Thank you.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Parkview Senior Living, for your dog's best friend, you.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1975 at 87 degrees. The record low was in 1909 at 26 degrees. The average high for this day is 73, and the average low is 49. Clear for tonight with a low of 42. Sunny skies for Friday with a high of 68 and a low of 48. And mostly sunny skies for Saturday with a high of 76 and a low of 54. And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. for News Leader. Stay safe and have a great evening.